Okay guys, welcome back. I lost a lot of my footage on the weekend because the other camera is broke. I will get a replacement at some point. I'd like to get the exhaust on today so that we can fire this one up. It shouldn't take too long, maybe an hour's worth of work, but there's some tips and tricks that can help you. When we transfer this part across to the other bike, use a big cable tie, hang it down until we've actually fully secured the front. That's going to help you still have pivot. Then obviously put the bolts in the front and you'll have your fully secure system. It's a beautiful system top to bottom. That it's stainless steel Motad top to bottom. It's worth a few pounds. It's going to really make this bike look the part. Then you can also press the button and it will make noise. So I'm going to start with pulling that one off the bike and then we'll look at throwing it on this one. Once again, thank you Steve for your contribution to the channel. Steve drove 12 hours on a 50cc 30-mile-an-hour moped to bring me that, guys. Yeah, the whole journey. He had all the snot down his nose, frozen like Dumb and Dumber. And he dropped that off to me and he was like, Charlie, I wanted you to have this. It took me 12 hours. I haven't actually heard from Steve. I hope he made it home okay. I'm sure he did. Let's get this exhaust swapped. I can't wait to see this bike looking more like its former self. Now it can be quite hard getting an exhaust sealed properly, so before I nip it all up properly I'm going to check that it is a sealed system. And you can hear that it's not. So we need to double check the seals up on here, make sure it's all seated properly. That's why you check now before nipping it all down, guys. Okay guys, before we put any more pressure on the exhaust, let's fire it again, make sure it's sealed. Excellent, that's fully sealed. Okay, let me get the bolts put in on the back. What's smoking over here? It will just be where I've been messing with the exhaust and touching it. Great, exhaust is on. Let me, what I want to do is a couple more things. I want to top up the coolant while this is all kind of not bolted at the top. Quick top up the coolant. Put the tank drain thing on, although I didn't see it in there somewhere. And yeah, and well, see where we go from there, but let's get this nipped up first. Okay guys, so the kind of tank is on and actually done and bolted, so that's all good. I'm gonna fire it up, run it for a few minutes, just make sure it's fueling as it should. So a couple of minutes, just hearing it, making sure it doesn't stall out. I did also top up the coolant, guys, because I spilled a little bit down when I was doing the carbs. So topped it up, made sure it's all bled. That should be good to go. Should definitely be good to go. Right, let's let it. Let's have a look and a listen for a couple of minutes. Make sure it seems okay. looks and sounds great to me so far, guys. Definitely heading in the right direction there. Lovely. That is a stunning bike actually, an 04 er5. Wow. With Nats paintwork. So guys, just popping off the bright work. Look back on there. I'll give it a polish in the end, but it makes sense to go back on now. All of the bright work I'll give a polish nearer the end. And the side casings I'm also going to be swapping across, which means oil drop, doesn't it? I'll have to drop the oil. So that side casing's quite a lot shinier than that one. And on the other side it's the same. So it makes sense to come across. It may as well have the best stuff on it out of the two bikes, really, I think. So we'll have a look at that. Let me know what you think so far. I think it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Just the clock changing, just because they're cleaner. And then the clocks and the light, I'm not worried about the indicators. I'll just clean them up. And again, polish everything up, get it MOT'd, and it should be a runner, nice and ready. Right, let me put the other side on. I haven't touched the other side yet. So we're getting there. I was just looking at the handlebars on both bikes. They don't really justify how cool this bike is. I think I'm going to need to buy a set. Just a set of kind of Renthal style. Because otherwise there's so much work into this bike. And they kind of let it down. I guess you lose a bit of the customness with them, don't you? Yeah, so I think that's going to be the plan. If I was braver, I would get rid of this cluster, keep them lights, and put on a mini speedo and make it a bit more Street Fighter-y. Problem is, this appears to be all one unit. I'd need to keep that bit there so that we've still got indicators and neutral light and high beam. Nothing else I'm that fussed about. But I can't. So I'll switch over all the clocks from the other one. I think I'm going to buy a slightly better pair of handlebars to make it a bit more interesting. I'm a bit short on funds at the moment. Not just me, but the charity. Hence why it's more ideal I sell this. I mean, I'd like to now keep this, finish it, do the engine mounts and do the speedo cable and wait for the logbook. But I can't sit on a bike for 2 months doing nothing really, so I'm quite keen to get rid of that. Plus I can put some funds into something else. So yeah, but I'm really pleased, guys. We've got the exhaust on, we've got a riding bike. It's Nats paintwork. We've got Nats token tax disc holder, which I love. They're brilliant, they are. So that's great. And then there's kind of some final polishing bits. I'll polish the metal side frames, and we will swap these side engine covers. So I'll drop the oil, and we'll have a great running bike. Now the chain on here is still quite bad. It needs a good clean, so I'm going to look for a proper good chain cleaner and a proper good chain lube, so that that's done and dusted and it comes out. I want it to come out looking pretty much brand new, so I'm going to buy a decent one. Let me know what you think, guys. I think it definitely needs a better set of handlebars, a more straighter bit of handlebars, so that it's a bit more custom. Nats paintwork needs sticking out as much as possible, so we may as well do that instead of having these custom shape. They're just a bit boring, aren't they? So I'm going to think about what works. If I was really brave, I'd order a black set of the ones I just used on the ZL 600s, so they're that shape. But I'm not sure if this bike would get away with it. I think they come in silver as well. I might consider it, guys. So here we go, here's our stunning bike, but one thing lets it down, and it's the shape of the handlebars. Even the newer ones that aren't rusty don't work. So we'll go for Renthals, or Renthal style. There you go, they go in like that, they go on there, and they've got a much better stance. They make this bike a much more beautiful thing to look at. The bright work on this bike is lovely. Of course we have a couple more bits to switch across, that's not an issue at all. That's kind of it really. So I've put my first coat of black up on there. I'm going to do probably 3 finish coats just to get the colour on. But what I will start doing is breaking down these handlebars. Let's get these end bars off, and we'll get the mirrors off. We'll get them loosened up and off, and we will kind of start switching across. So we'll loosen up all of this stuff. That's just screws underneath, that's easy. Drop it all down, get rid of all of this using the gun, just whip it all off. And then be careful when we pull it down here. I'm going to put some sort of soft pad across here so that there's no major issue. And then it'll be a fairly quick and simple switch. And until I've got everything on, I'm not going to bolt this down properly. And I'm going to give these bolts a clean. You can't do all that work and then put on these rusty bolts. That's ridiculous. Look how small these bars look without all the extras. They look tiny. Second coat on the tank. I'm going to head over there now, pop that on. 10 minutes in between. Third coat will be the flicker, the alloy grey, and then I'm going to start all the clear coats. Hopefully we'll get that clear coated today and ready, so that that tank's ready to go on the weekend. Most ideal situation would be that the big bike could be MOT'd on the weekend, but that is asking a lot at this stage, I have to admit. And Jake's still not here helping really at all, which is why it's taking so bloody long. Right, what's next? Yeah, second coat on that, then come back and keep transferring. Okay guys, here's the new bars. I kept the risers here. You see there's a set of risers here. Technically I wanted to go back to base, but the bolts are so long. Now I could have of course gone into my bag and got 4 new bolts, but I thought, you know, it has that style of bike really. It works like the higher bars. What do you think? Higher bars?
I think they're perfect the way.
Or do you think they're too high?
Where
I have tripped, yeah, of course you can. Where I have tripped myself up, guys, is I forgot that the tank has a different key now to the ignition, so I need to get 2 keys cut so that I've got 2 sets, if that makes sense.
Are you talking more looks wise or comfortability size?
For the bars?
Yeah.
Comfortable.
I feel you're right.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it's kind of more kind of wheelie bike style, isn't it? I mean, I think for a bike this custom handlebars is probably quite important, actually. With the tank, guys, I got kind of 3 full coats out of it, but I think I've got just enough to tip possibly 1 more. Honestly, next time get the bigger one. This is, oh my god, this is 200. I think the bigger one is 350, 400, 5 maybe. Get the bigger one. I'd want more coats actually, if I'm being honest. Next time I get the bigger one. Next time I'm doing a paint job like this, and I put on more coats, 7, 8, 9, so that it's I mean, it's lovely, it's a nice thick shine, you can see that. Definitely got a orange peel already, you can see that going on, but I'll smooth that out enough for it to be okay. And you can see the kind of flake in there, just to give it a little bit of something extra. And funny enough, you can see the you can kind of see ghosts, you can kind of see ghosting where it says Kawasaki, which is kind of the look I was going for originally. So this is definitely in the right direction. This could be saved. Daniel was talking about this dent. It looks bigger on camera. In person, you really can hardly see it. Where is it? It's hard to see it up close, actually. Right, where is it? So it's kind of, yeah, so it's where it messes with the light. It's there, but actually up close in person, it is really minute. And I'm so bad with filler. I wouldn't have been able. It's not even deep enough for filler, I don't think. It's kind of a light trick, and the ghosting and the flicker kind of deal with that. So in 5 minutes, I'm going to do the last coat on there, let that dry, and then I'll cut that back in a couple of days, really gently, guys, really gently. And then I'm going to buy some nice waxes for all of these. This isn't quite finished, but it's close. I could technically take this to MOT. That might be my next step.
You know you got a ding right there.
Where? Right there. A ding? Do you know what? It's fine. What is that? It's not a ding though. It's got like paint chip. Do you know what? It's okay. It's.
Adds character.
I'm gonna get some thick wax. I mean, I know Nat's put his good stuff on this. I mean, look how shiny it is, and it's been outside under a cover. So yeah, and also, like I said, I need to get some good chain cleaner. Get that chain back down to nice. But I think this is a cool bike. Other thing I will be doing, possibly after MOT, is clock change, because they have a nicer, they have nicer clocks. My aim will be to keep the innings and change the outings, but if I have to, I'll change the whole clocks. I'm not that fussed. And then the light change for the same reason, just to get rid of the other ones are cleaner. It's as simple as that. They're cleaner, and that's what I want. So yeah, and of course we've got Nat's
Signature thingy.
yeah, although it says 2001 and we're now 2004, so but that's all right. Tires on this are good, of course. Exhaust looks great. It's a great bike. I think it should fire up. I don't know how much battery it's got. I don't know if it's got any fuel.
The indicators are working, so it sounds.
I don't know what it's got. It's a shame these motads don't have a little bit more sound, I think. They just need a little bit more sound, in my opinion. I don't want to run it too much because I don't know how much fuel is in it. I think the gauge is working, but I think the fuel is super low. I will chop it up, but yeah, of course I need to sort out something with the keys or put the other cap on here. But I think
550, by the way?
500, that is 500. I think the other tank cap was ruined, wasn't it? Yeah, so I'm gonna have to get a second key. Have I got one key? Yeah, so I've got one key off each, so I need to get 2 keys made, so that we have a set for both. I might have to order them and get the local key cutter to deal with it. So we're getting there, guys. Next step for this, I think, is take it for an MOT, get it past the MOT, and then we'll continue the beautification process. It is a stunning bike, Sultan, don't you think? It is a stunning bike.
I think because I've worked on the ERs, it's pretty alright. I like it. I like the colour. I like
The gold, I think the gold you get away with. Yeah. If that was too yellowy, it wouldn't be for me. But that's gold. That's gold.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I do like it. It's got so much time and effort into that paint. And really, I don't know if Nat would agree that. I don't know if Nat would say he's put a lot of time and effort into it. But that is a stunning
Yeah, have you seen his
paintwork.
Yellow
phaser? Yeah.
Absolutely stunning. Like
crazy change, isn't it?
Crazy. It's got the bumblebee thing.
I liked the side sticker, the bumblebee side sticker though. I think that covered it, but I think he's cut that panel smaller.
Yeah.
I'm so glad he changed the rear end. That made it for me. Yeah. So Nat, great work. Anyone who's not watching Nat's channel, you're nuts. Go to Nat's Nackers Yard. That's all the N's. N-A-T-S. Is it all the N's, or has he spelled Nackers K-N?
I haven't seen any of his videos.
I'm dyslexic, so it makes no difference. Nat's Nackers Yard. That's what you need to go and look at, guys. I'm going to keep working on the tank. I'm just going to put a bit more WD on this chain and maybe get a rag on it, see if I can clean it up. And then we're definitely in the right direction.